Hi fellow crocheters, it's Janet with bddpatterns.com. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I hope you're doing well. I'm going to show you in this video the stitch techniques for my latest pattern, which is the Silverado Cardigan coat. All right, let's get started. This pattern, as you can see, is worked from the back to the front. So we started with the back hemline. Now I'm just working across 12 rows here, which will end up being 12 stitches. You are obviously working across more stitches, but this is just the video to demonstrate the techniques for the sweater. Okay, so let's add those extended half double crochets into this swatch. You want to chain 2, and before anybody asks, no, the first and last turning chains do not count as stitches. So I have, again, 12 rows here, so that means I'm going to need to have 12 extended half double crochet stitches in order to follow with this particular swatch. So to do that, I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook, yarn over, and I'm going to pull through the loop, or pull through the yarn over into that, from that first stitch, yarn over, pull through the loop, the first loop, yarn over, and then pull through all 3 loops. This is not a hard stitch, but if it looks a little wonky, again, remember I'm crocheting on a table here. So that's not, really conducive to the full movement of your hands that you get when you're just, crocheting on your lap or something. All right, so that's the second one. Let's go to the third one. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through that first loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through that stitch, yarn over, pull through the first loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. And one more time. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through that stitch, yarn over, pull through that first loop, and yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And now you've got something that's not quite as tall as a half double crochet, but it still is going to give the same amount of texture. All right, I'm going to continue on with this until the end, and then we're going to meet back here. Okay, I am on the last row of this extended half double crochet. Yarn over, the first loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. Okay, now what I have here is a turning chain here, a turning chain here, and then in between that I have my 12 stitches, because again, this little swatch has a total of 12 rows. Okay, now remember I said the first turning chain of 2 does not count as the first stitch. So you want to just turn, yarn over, and make sure that you go into that first stitch. So again, you'll have your number across that you're working on for your size, plus your 2 turning chains. So let's just go ahead and let's do this again for review. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through the stitch, yarn over, pull through the first loop, and yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Okay. Yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull through the first, pull through that stitch, yarn over, pull through the first loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. Okay, I am going to continue along with this extended half double crochet stitch until I get to the end of the row. And at the end of the row, I am not going to chain 2 as I normally would, because the next thing I'm going to demonstrate to you is how to integrate the border. into this, and you are going to do that in 2 different locations. As you can see from your pattern, this pattern is worked from the back and then 1 front panel at a time. In other words, the right front panel is first and then the left front panel. You will not do seams at the shoulders. It's all one piece. In fact, we're going to integrate the sleeves into the pattern, as you can see that from the schematics as well. So let me finish this row and I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm ready to show you how to integrate the ribbing border back into these extended half double crochet stitches. So again, I said there's 2 places to do this, and I'm going to just demonstrate this over 5 stitches total, just like I did down here. So in order to get 5 stitches, I need to chain 6. Now I'm going to work those 5 single crochets, starting with the 2nd chain from the hook and then into the next and last, actually, 4 more chains. Okay, so now I am working across a total of 5 stitches. And here I am. I'm going to turn my work, and per the pattern, I'm going to go and slip stitch into the next 2 stitches of the previous extended half double crochets. Then I'm going to turn my work again. I'm going to skip those 2 slip stitches, and I'm going to single crochet into the back loops only of the next 4 stitches. And then I am going to single crochet into that last stitch. So now again, I have a total of 5 single crochet stitches for my ribbing. I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and I'm going to work a single crochet into the first stitch, back loop single crochet into the next 4 stitches, so that's a total of 5. Now I'm going to find that next stitch from the extended half double crochet row. I'm going to slip stitch into that, and then I'm going to slip stitch into the next stitch. And now it's just a repeat. I skip the 2 slip stitches and I back loop crochet into the first 4 single crochet stitches. Now I'm going to single crochet into the last stitch. I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to turn, and then I'm going to continue on working my ribbing across the extended half double crochet rows until I'm at the end. And again, the first time you do this will be on the panel. The second time you do this, it'll be over fewer stitches and it'll be on each sleeve. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to integrate the single crochet row that you're going to have to do in 2 different places over these extended half double crochet stitches. And you're going to be doing that into the edges. So that's why I just wanted to show you this is not hard. But the one thing that you have to remember is instead of just working over 1 stitch, you're working over 2. So I have 3 rows of the extended half double crochet here, which means that if I'm going to work a single crochet border or the first time you want to do this is when you're getting ready to integrate the sleeve. You're going to have to do 2 single crochets for each row. So again, I have 3 rows here of extended half double crochet stitches, which means that in order for me to make this work, I have to do a single crochet twice per each row. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to do it. All right, if you look at your extended half double crochet, you've got the stitch right here. This is the top of the row. You can see that, okay? And we're going to we've chained 1. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go right into that same stitch. Okay. And whoops, you want to get through 2 loops, not just 1, but 2. The 2 loops of the stitch. Okay. So single crochet now. Now you're at the tall part of the stitch. So what you're going to want to do again is go through the center of those. There should be 3 loops there, and just go through the 2. All right. Now next, we're at the stitch. So I want you to single crochet into that. Okay. Now go through those 2 parts of the extended stitches, or the extended loops, sorry, and single crochet. So we've got 3, and we're right where we should be with 4. And then we need to do 2 more. So we're going to go into those 2 loops of the extended portion of the stitch from that row. And then we're going to go into the last portion and making sure we always go through 2 loops of the first row. Now we have 6 single crochet stitches. Again, you can see from the pattern that there's 2 times that you're going to need to know how to do this. The first time is when you go to add the sleeves, and the second time is when you go to add the neckline border, and I'm just going to cover that for you so that there's no confusion. Remember, guys, if you ever have a problem while you're crocheting, please just don't, hesitate to contact me. Good heavens, this is what I'm here for. I'm always surprised at the number of people that will just like frog a project or whatever because they just don't want to ask a question. And that to me is really sad, because what else am I here for? I wrote the pattern. I want to help you. I want this pattern to be successful for you. And I think if you purchase this pattern, you can see that I included a lot more schematics in this pattern. I'm always trying to improve my patterns, guys. So if you find something that you want me to add or whatever, please don't hesitate to reach out and just request it. That's all. All right, let's get on with adding the single crochet border into the inside, front, right, and left panels. Okay, so I'm back to my original swatch because this one has the ribbing in it. So when you go to add the neckline and front border, it's one continuous row back and forth up the inside, around the neckline, and back down the inside opening of the right and left panels. And you're going to do that, as you can see from the pattern, 3 times. So the first thing you're going to want to do is locate that first stitch of your ribbing. Mine is right here. Remember, go through the 2 loops, not just 1, and then go ahead and join your yarn. And then chain 1. Now, go ahead and single crochet back into that same stitch. And then I have 5 stitches here. And I'm also just going to cover my tail. So I'm just laying out the tail on top of the stitches and just crocheting right over it. And you are welcome to do that, of course, anytime that you want. And I pray that you do, because your life will be so much easier when it comes to finishing your pattern. So that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, now that takes me right to the top of that ribbing row, and now I'm getting ready to go into 3 again rows of the extended half double. So we're going to just go right and we're not going to do the extended half double, sorry about that, but I'm working on the single crochet border. So I need 6 stitches here to make this border work. Otherwise, if I just put in 3 based on the rows, it's going to pull in and it's going to look stupid. And we don't want that after all this work, because this sweater is beautiful, but it's not one of the fastest projects. It is a project, but when you're done with it, you will have the softest and most beautiful sweater, and you'll want to keep it because it's just a classic. So I've done 1 into that first row, okay? Or I did 1 into that first stitch. Now I'm going to do 1 single into those 2 extended loops. And the first one is always the hardest. So I'm just going to go ahead and do my single there, because remember I need 6 stitches here. Now I'm going to go into that stitch. You can see it, it's right there, guys. And I'm going to single crochet. Now I'm going to go into the extended part of the stitch through the 2 loops. I'm going to single crochet. Now I'm back to my stitch. There we go. All right, and I got to count this because I was too busy. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is right where I should be. Now I'm just going to go and single crochet into that last stitch. So again, when we're adding our single crochet border, we just have to keep in mind that for every row we've got, that's going to require 2 single crochet stitches. If you just keep that in mind, you'll totally be safe. It's in the pattern. It's not a problem. And again, if you need any other help, just reach out to me at hello@bddpatterns.com. Again, I really want to thank you so much for purchasing this pattern, and I hope that you'll share your results when you're done. God bless.